Good morning, Annick. How are you today in Switzerland? I know a lot of areas here in America got snow this weekend. Do you have snow there? hmm Are you able to hear me? No, just fog. So it must be colder, and some things hot and some things cold since it's a fog. I'm just seeing when people are going to be coming today. Oh, good. So are we at 2 o'clock? 2 minutes. We have one more minute. I know up in Pennsylvania they got, I think, 7 inches, and it's very cold and windy. And there's Carol. She's in that snow and cold, right, Carol? And it only has fog. So it is the Christmas season. We may see that people are out Christmas shopping versus coming to listen to YouTube. But that's all right. I already planned for what we're going to do today. And when my husband and I were talking all weekend, we were talking a lot about courage. Now, your ability of your courage, there is a place within the back of your heart and the chakra where it's either open and strong and you're courageous, or it's worn down, not affecting correctly. But everybody's different. But, sorry. Usually, a place where everyone can use some new perception to what courage needs to be about. And good morning, Tiani from South Africa. We're getting quite a world experience here. Switzerland, Pennsylvania, and South Africa. I'm in that snow and cold, grateful it's beautiful and I'm warm and safe. Excellent. Here's Mary Ann. You're in California, correct? Good morning. And what's your temperature out in California? That's almost very interesting. And you have me in Florida, so that's the lower piece of America. We're going up to 69 today. It had been a little bit chilly, but when the sun comes out, it warms up. So I want you to think about it for a moment. How are you about courage? Cold in San Francisco, 43. Yes. Yeah. I forget what Carol told me hers are. It's much colder than that. So we'll send her some warmth. To everybody who feels they need it. Let's do it that way. All right, good. Courage can show up in a number of different locations. One, with your relationship to yourself, firstly. How are you about going and redeveloping yourself? creating a new you, responding differently? Is it hard for you to do that and face that perhaps somewhere along the line as a child, or however your experiences from your family are, there's not a lot of courageous feelings? And here's Barbara Ward. Glad to see you here. Thank you for coming. And I think it's an exciting thing for us to talk about, because I'm sure no matter who you are and how old you are, you want to always create a greater defining experience in life. Lauren, good morning. And some people just don't want to talk about it. Sometimes getting put in a position where you need to have courage, you can get ill, your body can have pain. It's very fascinating on very many levels to discover how many people interact with courage, and a lot of them just don't do it at all. You'd rather turn your head, walk away, and let it be someone else's business, right? So let's get a conversation going here, if we can, and find out how people are feeling. And I would like to, for the first thing, I'm going to pull some long swords. This is from the medieval time, when it was probably not a time where you could speak your truth or speak up about your thinking things ought to change. So let's just pull. We're doing subconscious work here. Let's just pull those swords out from the back of the neck. Anybody have a crickety neck and have a lot of trouble with it? Well, one of the many pieces it could be is this piece on courage. And those of you who are traveling a path and growing, there's always a new level of courage that's coming up for you to have to grasp. Am I going to be able to be that from within me? We are already who we are, but sometimes we'd rather shut it down and not have to tell people or talk about it, or all these messages keep bothering me. So see if you can decide and ask yourself, what is it about me? Am I afraid to step my feet out and to become more? Here's Barbara says, I have grown a lot in the area of courage, but there are still some times when I slip back into fear. For me, it's a work in progress. Well, for all of us, it's people think, oh, let me snap my fingers and next week I'll be okay. It is a work in progress. And as we can embrace that, and just like you said, there's going to be very many levels to the courage, and very different for everyone. But if you can take a minute here, and what is your next step in courage? Is it believing you can do more than that you are doing? And is it calling for courage to speak up, to step up, to create a new scenario? And if that's fear that's preventing that, let's just pull out. I'm going to wrap it around my hand and pull it out and let it go. Fear doesn't have the power to stop you. If you're afraid to remove fear, then we need to remove it again. Woo! Fear's a word. Fear is not an action. It is not something you want to empower, because it makes you this big when you are this big. So, when we were little, we were taught to dream. And my mother always used to sing the song, Que Sera, to me. Dream big. Whatever will be, will be. But if instead you get all, in a little ball about courage and can't overcome the fear, then you can't see the whole picture of who you can be, that who you've really come to earth to discover. Here on earth is a lesson. We all have karma, we all have patterns. And as we come here, it's a process to have situations occur in our life so that we can choose to demonstrate a greater part of ourselves. So I want you each to write the word courage down. Do you print it? Do you do it in writing? Let's first see, what's the first step that courage does for you? How does it stand? Is it bold? Do you take time? Some people who, Lauren, very good. Courage. Now, if I had that ability, I would make it very dark. Like, it's got to hear me. My courage has to come out and know I'm not afraid of anything that it brings with it because it's the lesson. I embrace the lesson. I want the lessons to come to me. And why is it important? Because it's the back of your throat. And the more certainty you have about yourself and your journey will be heard as your courage comes forward. You see? So there's some people who have lived other lives and been a king or a queen, but the life they're living now might be minimal, and we don't even know that or can't feel that. And that's why the whole process of healing and growing to come and bump into who you really are. And my goodness, how different you were then as to how you are now. And it's a simple shift. It will be about courage. Good morning, Marvy. We're talking about courage. And for those who've looked at it, I'm sure you could say to me that your steps have become stronger and more assured. Fear is usually the concern when courage isn't come forward. It's not about a fight. It's not about a sword fight. It's about, oh, look, the phone is on 11:11. Here it is, looking at yourself and being willing to shift. Okay? It's about having new ideas, new adventures, new people, new friends. Because if you feel stuck, that courage is what you need to bring about. Who have you been? What do you remember? Here's Inner Light. Oh, I like that name. Good morning. Welcome. Don't think I remember you being here before, but many blessings. Yes, everyone. We're going to bring the protection of Mother and Father all around our community and ask for the Lord Gautama Buddha to bring forth his blue flame around the outer rim so that everyone here is safe. So if there's a part of you that you've hidden, today's the day you have an opportunity to share it, because my wisdom is about how to let it go. So here's Marby again saying good morning to Inner Light. So you see, even your name, Inner Light, says to brighten the inner experience of the throat chakra. We're focusing today on the throat. What else is in the throat? Loving yourself, accepting yourself, which is also another difficulty. Then there's courage, and there's allowing the balance of black and white, good and bad, however you want to see that. That's a lot of different parts of us that are in the back of the throat. And how many have neck issues? Yeah, the more you have a problem here is the more at night when you try to rest, your neck hurts. That's what it's about. It's one of these issues. It is true. But you want to stand in your courage from a loving place. I read your thing, and in that, when you use power, it makes me think of a gripping. It doesn't call for that. It calls for love. Remember, everything we do is about deepening and expanding the love of our heart. So how does that look when it comes to courageousness? It looks about having your dreams come true. It isn't about manipulation or having to have it. You already have it. You have to choose to allow it. To everyone, I want to speak to your soul for a moment. For there are sometimes, why can't I just speak it in English? Well, I could, but it would go right over your head. So when I speak to the soul from spirit, good. I'm hoping to let the soul touch you to where you can begin to unload this darkness that's like Andy says. It's hidden. It's hidden. Yes, I know. And the pains are up to courage. So let me have this talk to the soul. All right. Amo niekieta hashakia beta hano pati kishitata. Ledede atapa kieta nanahashipi. Latka heheta hishi. Lamo na kiete. Nakanaye chite tapana he kiepata hishitata. Latkete ne pote shete to to. Barbie says she has courage. The courage is about being who you are. And I wonder how many of you know who you are, because there's a continual growth. No matter who you are never today what you were yesterday. So it's learning how to embrace and accept that which you yourself bring to you to awaken who you are. Does anyone not understand that? Good, Barbara. Yeah. Kind of sounds like what I'm sharing. Everyone needs to come with an open heart with these things, these attitudes that are in the back of the throat. Also, not only in the neck, but there's a cause and effect on the spine and how well you stand and your silhouette experiences. I've had someone who was starting to go humpy. All of a sudden, you want to put your shoulders back. You want to stand erect. I am is the goal. I am that which I am. I am knowing that I am is the all-seeing God. You see? Very good. Does anybody have any comments they'd like me to share with everyone else about maybe how you moved into more courage? You know what you have to let go of? You have to let go of caring about what people think. It's big in our world. You may all deny it, but it's there. And when you can embrace you without having to have validation, you're courageous. Very good, Dream. There's some very evolved people here talking. I love to see it. That I wouldn't have known just by you having your name on here always. Very good. So I'm saying to all of you, let's march forward together. Courageousness exists. So where do you want to plant your foot next? Where do you want to move in consciousness on this land, this earth? Before we have other opportunities, we must grasp everything we can. Now, a number of you that are on here are doing the Palladian work, and we notice that all the Palladians are very balanced. Yeah, I would not say the Earthlings are balanced. Maybe there's a few people here today, but let me see what Lauren says. Well, all you have to do, Lauren, to receive that is call it in. That's a choice for you. No one can be the one that brings God to you. You must ask and surrender to let it come very clearly. Just as if we want to open up courage, think of the boy that's on a canyon and he can see the floating steps across the way to get to where he needs to go. That takes courage to know that the jump he can do is going to get him to the next without falling through. So it's the same we are. To get from one place to another, we sometimes choose safety, which ends the opportunity, ends the possibilities. You see? God works in mysterious ways, and he does his best to work with each of you wherever you are. But there's parts of this whole healing process that you must participate in. Let's see what Inner Light says. Not caring about what other people say is an act of courage, but it is difficult at first. What it requires is for you to look inside. What it does is, who am I? Show me myself. And you will do that through meditation or even writing. Some people, I used to write every day. I have books and books of everything. And then if you are connected to your higher self, that's another set of books of me writing with my higher self, asking more, well, how does that work? Well, what do you do with that? I find that people today don't want to take the time to really know themselves or to talk with what you've been equipped with. I know there's birth angels. How many of you know your birth angel? My birth angel's named Liza, and she's like 12 feet tall. Yeah. She's the kind that helps you believe, right? So you have to learn to not just be you in this human form. You have a higher self. You have a birth angel. You have Mother and Father God. If you get clear enough to allow them. Marianne, I just typed an entry and it didn't show up. Well, try it again. I did not see it either. Let me move everything up a little bit. There you go. There it is. I just typed. Okay. This one came in, so write what you wrote again. I'm anxious to see it. So, Tierney, where you live, how do people in your area, perhaps you work with people, how do they handle discovering courage? Well, have you tried to ask? First, let me ask, can you see her? This is Marby. Because I can give you her name, I can see it now, but I am wanting to support all of you beginning to open your visuals, your hearing, your expansion. And I'm going to tell you, since you don't seem to be responding, Marby, your birth angel's name is Teresa. And I don't know why there's that odd way of saying it, Teresa. So I hope you can get her communication. So Marianne, did you get to rewrite and it's not working? Hmm. There was a period of time when I would be writing or whatever, I would call forth a person who knew about writing or knew about creating diagrams and those type of things. You all have an ability to call in more people. The more you grow, the more you discover who you are. You're welcome, Teresa. Okay, Marianne, you still can't get back in? So there's just so much more to you and what God brings you that you can access, then perhaps I don't know what you've studied or where you've been, but you can ask for help and help will come. Okay, here's Marianne. Someone quiet determination. Yes, I would say I see the courage from within you. I don't know a bit about other people because for it to be for other people, they have to shift the place in their neck where that courage is. Okay, but good. But perhaps it's all still for all of you necessary for a little bit more. Because you have to be willing. Because here's a big issue being afraid to say something wrong, or to think something wrong, or to interpret something wrong. Yes, very good. So, how many can think of their concern? Well, I think, but do I? The back and forth. This is the crux of courage. Can I? Won't I? Does it work? Does it not? What do I do? And you have to trust your heart and your soul. Whatever is coming to you, if it's shifting every day, has to be the process of learning that you need to go through, and so embrace it. Have the courage to stand up and say, go ahead, take me through the next step. I am ready. I used to walk the mall every morning, so every morning for that hour, 15 minutes, I'm listening to my higher self talk to me about where I need to go, what I need to look at, and how I need to make a shift because it's going to keep bringing me back to the same old rat hole. And that happens to people. They don't know how they can get here when they continue to do all these things, but they're still here. It's because you have to have courage. You have to believe. When I say the word believe, I always think of Disney and how it came out. Remember how it would write it on the board, believe? My head. Believe is a big piece of everything. The more we can do it, the more enlivened everything becomes. As you speak it, if you know something from your heart, it comes out and touches people different than if you don't believe it. Being able to speak up when in growing up, voice silence is very hard. So you have to be willing to try and try again. Excellent advice. It is a growing process. You are all, if you haven't already, have some experience with courage to get to where you need to be. Doesn't matter your age. You could be 75, 80, and still not have found courage. But it is never too late to ask to be supported so that you can not be afraid to say, this is who I am. This is what I believe. Believe me, I hear it all the time. Well, what are they going to think of me? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I heard recently that the more you find you're alone, the more effective you've really become in discovering you. Because within you, you have all the love you need. And you may say, oh, wow, that doesn't sound good, doesn't it? Then wouldn't you be able to have access to all that which has been brought to you and to speak forward into the world today? I think so. Yeah. I'm very excited. I was just going to say that you're reading my book. It's a very timely day today to speak about courage. We can see people in the White House having courage or being afraid. It's right there in front of us. So it's a choice about yourself, one that everybody has. You cannot ever say, well, I can't because of someone. No, it's not true. You could not be afraid of anybody or anything because you're you. God is there supporting you, being you. What with? With a higher self, with a birth angel, with a heart that Mother herself and Mother Mary keeps tuning up. You're not alone. You are not alone. Seems like a minute. Yeah. So how's everybody feeling? Good? Let's see. Anik, has this helped you, Eddie? Yeah. There's so many. It's so wonderful. We've found so many places that courage. You know, when you're turning 17, 18, I don't know what the age is now. That was a great courage thing for me. And I used to, if I had to really talk to God, I used to put my knees on the end of the bed. And anytime I did, I heard him and there he came. And I said, I got to get out of here. I have to go. When I was 17, I left and I have not been really hardly back. Never back to where my home on the farm was. So it's a journey. There's no way anyone can sit today and say what your journey truly will be because every day is different. Who you are is changing. You don't know where you're going to go. Yes, I understand that, the inner light. But the question here is that what you've come to heal? For when we choose our lives every time we come, it's about healing something specific. People aren't killed in the same way they were years and years, eons ago. For when you are killed years ago, that is you who surrendered and said, I want to go home. Think about it. Are you ready to surrender and say, I want to go home? I don't think so. I don't think so. We're different today. We have so much more awareness and wisdom. Thank you, Lauren. Yes, I am like your pat you on the back person. You can do it. Why? Because I know the love you have in your heart. We all have the same. Just that many of us don't take the time to discover it and allow it to embrace you. It's magnifico. It's more than you could ever dream. And I pray for that for all of you, that the excitement comes from getting to where you can know it and allow it to breathe in and breathe out and expand to where love is feet and feet around you. Walk in courage? I guess so. Because what is there to be afraid of? I've seen my daughter, when she was growing up, she said, well, Mommy, why don't people just kiss the dragon and love it and it'll go away? And I said, Heather, that would be pretty easy if people would listen. So I say to you today, if you're afraid, kiss the dragon. Give it love. And it will melt and transform. And you will be free to love you. You're welcome, Inner Light. And you're welcome, Lauren and Annie. It's wonderful. I'm so glad you're all here. I know that Merry Christmas is going to change in those words and what it means to you. You know, yesterday we called everyone and said, sorry, we're not sending out Christmas presents. I'll be home. You can call me. I'm willing to talk to you anytime. But that's not what money's about right now. And everybody was good with it. I was kind of concerned, but young boys, you know, they're learning and growing. Yeah, just think about if we could bring the importance into the love we hold in our heart, the love of God, of course. So, I don't mean to take up all your time. I know you're all busy, but love yourself today. Let's begin there. Have the courage to love you and discover more about you. How about that? Sometimes someone had mentioned it was hidden. Well, then you got to open the closet to it. What do you have in there? What are you afraid of? It's not anything that's frightening. So you don't need to give it that power. You see? You're welcome very much. Excuse me, I have to blow my nose. Yeah. So I think you've kind of got the message. And if you have something come up and want to ask me tomorrow, you can. But tomorrow we're going to do messages. We'll see what all of your energies are like. And remember, when we do the messages, if you're a listener and you hear one that feels like it's for you, then you can have and do that work with it. And I think a lot of people are growing from the message day. And we will see. All right. Many blessings to all of you. In this holiday time, you can feel the crispness in the air, at least here where we are. And perhaps maybe those of you who have snow and a little bit more chilly weather can experience it. But my heart goes right this moment and touches your heart with such warm love and belief. That's all it is. Believing. Thank you for the rainbow. Oh, Marianne wants me to say the prayer. Let me see if it's here. Oh, here it is. Is everybody ready? All right. From the point of light within the mind of man, of God, I'll start again. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of men. Let light descend upon earth. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of men. May Christ return to earth. From the center where the will of God is known, let purpose guide the little wills of men, the purpose which the masters know and serve. From the center which we call the race of men, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door where evil dwells. Let light and love and power and courage restore the plan on earth. So be it. There you go, Marion. With so much love, I can't say. I feel my own courage is built up more and more by helping all of you release yours. So many blessings, beautiful healing light into the back of your throat where courage exists. And let's see what things you think about or what actions you do. Many blessings.